Hey y'all, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, or if you happen to be new, thanks so much for stopping by. Today's video is just going to be a getting ready with me using drugstore products. Some of them are newer releases, others are ones that have just been living in my collection for quite a while now. I do want to apologize for my absence. If you guys follow me over on Instagram stories, then you would have seen I did not heed my husband's advice. I thought I would be helpful and do some yard work. I used the weed whacker with no sunglasses on. Something popped up and whacked me in the eye. It was straight Quasimodo style for at least 3 or 4 days. So I just wanted to leave it kind of naked, give it time to heal because eye injuries are always no joke. But let's go ahead and get into the makeup. This is something that I received recently in the mail from Hard Candy. This is their Sheer Envy Blur Primer, selfie approved soft focus blur effect. I do like the packaging that it's a pump. I actually haven't tried too many products from Hard Candy. When I think of Hard Candy, the first product that comes to mind is the 𝗟𝗧𝗧'𝗦 concealer from way back when. I feel like that was one of the first high coverage concealers at the drugstore, or at least one of the first high coverage ones that really got hyped up. I tried using that again semi-recently and it just felt like a mask. It was heavy and gross. This is actually a lot runnier than what I was expecting it to be. Whenever I hear blur effect, I always assume it's gonna be something that's a little bit thicker and more kind of silicone-like, like the Smashbox Photo Finish Primer. This actually has a really nice tackiness to it. So I think this will really help to keep my makeup adhered all day to my face. I do like the look of a glowy forehead, but I don't like the pores on my forehead. This one doesn't really seem to be mattifying though. It's just blurring, which is nice. Typically when you find a blurring primer, it's something that really makes your skin matte as well. And I'm just not about that life. There's not really a scent at all. Just in case you haven't already watched Game of Thrones, this is your spoiler alert now, so you may just want to X out or fast forward. I'll go ahead and put a timestamp here of whenever I'm done talking about it. But y'all, last night's episode was seriously so disappointing, and I don't know if it's just because I got so hyped up on so many different fan theories that I expected something so much more. This is the Wet n Wild Not a Basic Peach. I'm gonna go into Rosé in the Air instead and use this kind of cream ivory shade. I love these palettes from the drugstore. I believe they're $4.99. So I'm gonna go in with this one instead just because that had a little bit too much orange in it. Think about all the vile things that 𝗟𝗧 did and I'm like, you got to die in the arms of someone you love and you were killed by rocks. I'm about to sound like a very vindictive, dark person right now, but if you've been invested in Game of Thrones and you've seen the whole thing and what a terrible villain 𝗟𝗧 is, then I mean, you'll feel me, okay? I feel like they should have locked her up in a cell, allowed her to have the baby, let the Starks raise it as a Stark, since she hates the Starks, cut her tongue out because then she'd never be able to tell the baby its true identity, because the one thing that she absolutely adores is her children. I mean, that would be heartbreaking, right? To see your baby raised by your enemies. I'm not saying for them to do anything bad to the babies by any means. Don't get it twisted. But I'm just something terrible like that. Or the thing that pretty much I think all of us wanted was for Arya to use her freaking Snapchat face filter shaping voodoo and come in as Joffrey from the dead or Jaime and kill her. Why? Are you kidding me? Crushed by rocks? I was so disappointed, as I'm sure many of y'all were. Okay, I'm going back into the Rosé in the Air palette and using this transition shade here. I feel like my eyes are still wonky a bit. There's this hard bump right here on my lash line. I'm one of those psychos where if I have a zit or a splinter, I will go in and push needles in it. I know, needles in my eyes. I'm thinking I want to go in and create a very dark, black, smoky lid with some shimmer. I'm gonna go in with this Maybelline Color Tattoo. This is 730 Creamy Chocolate. It's just a really pretty, warm, rich bronze. I'm just going to fill in my lid with this and then pull a tiny bit of it up with my finger. Honestly, I'm gonna go in with a darker shadow on top, so this part really is kind of optional, but in my mind, I always like to lay down a creamy base whenever I want a really dark lid. The more saturated it is, the deeper it'll be. Do y'all wanna hear what kind of paranoid psycho I am? Whenever I first got this bump, the reason that I was going in hard with a needle and jabbing my eye is because somehow on YouTube, you watch one weird thing and then suddenly YouTube decides you need to see a ton of disturbing things. This video of baby squirrels and birds came up of people extracting botfly larvae from them. If you have never watched one before, don't, unless you're a weirdo and you like pimple popping videos. Those make pimple popping videos like rookie league stuff. These are, ugh, I can't handle like spiders and grubs. Those already grossed me out. So it's basically like that times a million. So instantly when I got this little bump on my eye, I'm like, what if whenever I was using the weed whacker, a bot fly thing flew up and hit me in the eye, and that's what's in my eye. Turns out it's not a bot fly that I know of, so keep me in your prayers. Okay, now I'm going into the Not a Basic Peach palette and taking this really rich dark brown right here, and this is just a Sigma Exact blend. So I'm just going to press this right on top. The shadows in these Wet n Wild palettes are so good. If for whatever reason you haven't tried them yet and you are looking to expand your eyeshadow collection, you can't go wrong with these. Now I'm taking that same shadow just on a smaller brush. This is the Makeup Geek Defined Crease. If you have hooded lids or just very small crease space, this is a good one. If you're really wanting to get in there just to pull like a darker color just a tiny bit up, this one's really nice. Now to just add some sparkle, I'm gonna go in with one of the Liquid Catsuit glitter shadows from Wet n Wild. This one is in Black is the New Black. So it just has a black base, but with like more subtle, smaller micro shimmer. I think it is so pretty, especially for a smoky eye. I'm just going to lightly pat this on. I like to do a small layer first. If you go in too thick right away, then it ends up wiping itself off. So I'll apply some like that, and then I'll take my finger just to really tap it onto the lid, like so. So as you can see, you just get this really pretty wash of shimmer. Now I do have this Revolution glitter here that's kind of like a white gold. I'm like, do I want to add some of that on there, or is this enough? I really do like the look of that. Let's just do a tiny bit and see, because I haven't played with this glitter in a while. This is one of their glitter bombs in the shade Uninterrupted. Look at my finger. See what I mean? It just looks glossy and wet. So I'm like, do I just want to leave it? Okay, so just taking the glitter glue, I'm just going to pat some right here in the middle. And then I'll just pop some right to the center of my lid. Okay, so there's some more. I don't know if I like that as much now. Okay, let's even things out and see. Because now I feel like I kind of lost some of the wet look. Moving on to foundation, I actually grabbed this morning while I was at the grocery store. This is the Wet n Wild Mega Cushion Foundation. I grabbed mine in the shade Natural Beige. I ended up blacking out and completely forgetting that I went in for the Maybelline Dream Cushion in a deeper shade to use as a cream contour. And I saw this and I was just like, oh. So it does come with an air puff, but I don't know how I feel about the texture of this air puff. So I'm just gonna go in and use a sponge instead. So the packaging is pretty much identical to any traditional Korean cushion foundation. I'm just going to take my sponge. Ooh, this is really nice and lightweight. So if you do like cushion foundations and you're looking for some that have more than just extra fair light, and barely even light medium, you could always go with the Dream Cushions from Maybelline, or I'm trying to remember how many shades were in this Wet n Wild one. Okay, so obviously my face is lighter, but this will match the self-tan that I have on my neck. Ooh, I actually really do like this. And I was a little bit hesitant just because I hate the smell of the regular Wet n Wild liquid foundation. Isn't it Photo Focus? The scent of that is like wall paint. I hate it. And I was worried that this would have the smell, but it really doesn't. For my under eye concealer, I'm just taking the Maybelline Age Rewind in the shade Medium. And I think I'm going to add some neutralizer to it as well. Taking this Catrice Light Illusion powder in, what are you? Loose powder yellow matte. Honestly, I don't remember how I feel about this. I haven't used it in a while. Hopefully it's not like too yellow. It looks more like a really pale banana rather than one of those super yellow ones that end up making me look even more tired. I don't know. It's okay. This is the Wet n Wild Color Icon Bronzer in the shade What Shady Beaches. I have been loving this bronzer. Ever since I received this in PR, I've been using the absolute mess out of it. If you don't like warm orangey bronzers, you're not gonna like this one. Okay. Got a little bit more on the brush than I thought. I'm just going to pull it into the hairline. I have another product from Wet n Wild. This is one of their highlighting powders in Awesome Blossom. I'm just going to apply that more like a blush, just right on top of that first bronzer. There we go, just for some additional glow. And then for my highlighter, I'm gonna go in with a ColourPop Luster Dust. I haven't used this one in such a long time. This one is in the shade Strobe Glow. So just taking a tiny bit on, here it is. I really like to use the Real Techniques contour brush with this. So I will just barely get some in the lid and then just really work that product, almost like the Bare Minerals foundation. Work it into the brush and then just buff it onto the areas that I want. Now for my lower lash line, I'm just going to take that same Maybelline crayon. I'm just gonna take like a dense shader brush and just press it right on top of that cream shadow and work that back and forth. Now taking that very first crease color we used, I'm gonna go right under that area and smoke it out even more. One of my all-time favorite nude lip liners, whether we're talking high-end or drugstore, is NYX Natural. Peekaboo Neutral is good. I talk about that one a lot. Ooh, this has like one of those, why is this so satisfying? Whenever we get like a new technology item in the house, Keegan and I always fight over who gets to take that off. This is one of the L'Oreal Color Riche lipsticks in the shade Ultra Nude. I despise the scent of L'Oreal lipsticks. I hate that they're scented that way because they have some beautiful colors. But this I just thought would go, oh, I think I might have to exfoliate my lips first because since this is such, the crusties on my lips are terrible. Okay, I'll exfoliate after the video. I'm gonna go in with one of the Wet n Wild lipsticks. This is their Liquid Catsuit High Shine lipstick. I love the formula of these. If you've tried the matte liquid lipsticks and you didn't like those, these are completely different. It's pretty much like a super high shine glossy liquid lipstick. I'm going to be using the shade Send Nudes. I love the applicator on these just because they hug your lips just right. So I think this combo, oh my God. I think the gloss just like emphasized the crustiness. Oh well. I promise I will go in and create a lip mask after this video and buff that all off because it's pretty bad. Here is the final look. Let me know what y'all think of it down below. I'm pretty excited that all this came together using products under $10. Just goes to prove that you can really find some gems out there at the drugstore. Out of everything that I used, I'm really excited about that cushion foundation, but I have been using these Wet n Wild palettes for quite a while now. I find them at Target and H-E-B for $4.99. They may be a little bit more at the drugstore, but you could always order on Target's site as well. I know sometimes Ulta will do like buy one, get one 40% off or buy one, get one half off. That would be a good time to stock up as well if you are wanting to try some of the other palettes. But yeah, that is it for this one. Thank you so much for spending part of your day to hang out with me. If you guys would like to hang out some more, and if you haven't already, you could always subscribe. That way you can be notified for all of my future uploads. And yeah, I think that is it. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.